I think for Singapore, we've actually heard a lot about the challenges in the market, starting from rising costs, shortage of labor overall, reduced demand. And I think the key thing for us is really how do we actually satisfy our guests, our customer. For us, that is the forefront of what we do. We want our customers and guests walking into the store to feel happy so that when they're actually happy, they would actually come more frequent. They would actually bring their friends along. So that's the starting point. Like for us, what really matters the most in a challenging environment is to make sure that every single guest that steps out of a store is happy. And with regards to that, we go back to what makes a happy customer. In this case, a joyful customer really goes back to ensuring that the quality of products that are actually being served would actually wow them. We're actually offering authentic, good quality products. Over and above that, complementing it with good service. And in Singapore, I'm actually quite proud to actually see that I personally go through a lot of the reviews sent by customers are actually complimenting our service team members by name, which really talks about the quality of service that we have. And last but not least is value. Value for Singapore consumers is not really about the cheapest product. It is really what am I getting for what am I paying for? So that's the other part, right? So I think for us, this has actually been the core focus that we're actually looking at. This is what I call by building a sustainable foundation, which goes back to really three things, right? Quality of products, good service, and great value to our consumers. So that has really been a primary focus. And that is one way that we believe we would actually be able to keep our customers happy and bring back more repeat customers. So I think there's two folds. I'll start off with the heart of Tim Ho Wan, which is the kitchen. We now have an expert chef program whereby our global chefs are actually going in market to actually train the teams in Singapore. And similarly, our chefs in Singapore have actually come over to be trained as well. And really making sure that over and above the training, we are now supported with very strong documentations, procedures, and processes that they need to actually follow so that it becomes replicable not only in one store, but across multiple stores. The same is actually then applied to our front of house service team, whereby we would actually have service standards. And the key thing behind that is how do we actually be more personal, be more approachable to our customers. So these are some of the things that we've been doing, building over and above building the systems and processes, having the right training programs and empowering our team members to do the same. In fact, when we actually want to actually be the authority when it comes to dim sum, we want to actually be synonymous like dim sum equals Tim Ho Wan, Tim Ho Wan equals dim sum. In fact, very surprisingly, when I actually go across to different markets, if I were to actually look at the space of dim sum, there is a growing need and there are not many brands or very few brands are occupying that space. Even though we're actually, and today, Tim Ho Wan having a presence with 85 stores across 11 markets, we are one of the best, we are already one of the widest network. And many people, though we are not necessarily in the city, would have visited a Tim Ho Wan store before. So when it actually comes to expansion, we are obviously looking at opportunities to open up more access so that we would actually be accessible to more consumers around the world. But having said that, we would actually take a very disciplined approach in terms of expansion. When I talk about disciplined approach is number one, making sure that our systems, our processes, and our training programs are sustainable and replicable. Because for every single store that we open, we want to ensure consistency, that we're actually able to deliver the whole Tim Ho Wan experience to the customers. So while we're actually looking at opportunities to expand, it starts off with a disciplined approach, building system processes and capabilities, and then looking at which are the key cities that we could actually be looking into. I think for Singapore, there will obviously still be some opportunities, some pockets or some geography that we're actually not in as yet. So we will look at opportunities in those areas. But over and above geography, there are still untapped opportunities for us in Singapore if I were to actually look at channels and day part. Because besides dine-in, delivery has actually been a fast-growing trend in Singapore, and that is one of the areas we are looking at. How do we create delivery-only menu that would actually still be fresh, that would actually still be delicious after a 30-minute delivery time? So that is one of the areas we are looking at. The other part that we are actually looking at as well is different day parts. Tim Ho Wan is actually strong for the lunch day part, but is there an opportunity for us to actually penetrate or break into the breakfast day part, the dinner day part, right? So expansion in this case comes in multifold. The easy one that naturally a lot of people would be thinking of would be expansion in terms of number of stores.
Yeah.
But on our end, we are now looking at channels, dine-in, delivery. We are looking at day pass, breakfast, lunch, dinner. How do we actually really capitalize and maximize on these opportunities that exist?